All right, here I am, all cleaned up, fresh out of the shower and good smelling, and ready for my Christmas celebration. So, wow, it's already, oh my goodness, it's going on 4 in the afternoon. I've had a small breakfast, had a nice long bath, and just been sitting here lighting the Christmas tree, and this is my Christmas dinner. Gordon Ramsay's chicken, I don't know if it's chicken or turkey pot pie. Either way, it's the best damn microwave food they sell at Walmart. So yeah, I'm gonna be nom 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 spending Christmas alone. The day's not over yet. It depends on if somebody really wants to see me today. But today I have one Christmas present. I gotta rearrange my cards. There we go. And that's my Christmas card collection. I appreciate that. I got one Christmas present to unwrap. I have received a couple of other gifts in the form of money, and I appreciate those. So, I already suspect I have a record. I got a new record. I just don't have the strength to open it with my fingertips alone. All right, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And I just hate ripping off. See, I'm trying so hard not to just get crazy on it. So let's see, Cabaret Voltaire. All right, so lovely wrapping. I like it. I like it. It's very fitting. This is what I'm going to see, but I might go hiking today. I'm thinking this is what I might see outside today. And I got a new record by Cabaret Voltaire. Now, since my big stupid smartphone isn't smart enough to flip the picture around, I have to do that. I don't have a whole lot of light. Oh my god, and the package is just glaring. But yeah, see, that's the kind of thing you get when you know a record collector like my dad. Like I was saying about having Gary for a friend, he was like a living leprechaun, man. Like if you didn't believe in leprechauns, you would after you met him. So if my dad was a leprechaun and this was gold, then this is what you would get, right? So that's why I have received gifts of gold from my leprechaun. Similarly, so this is Archives. Oh my goodness, it's a live one. Right on. So I'll have to crack this open now. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties here. The CD player in my truck hasn't been working right, and now a long time ago when I used to live in Colorado, I had a very nice stereo with big tall speakers. I had Techniques, you know, and I've had to let some things go, you know. I've been just living in limbo, just sort of near homelessness at times, and I've had to let go of a lot of things, and so that's why I have such a small collection of things. This is my stereo right now. This is just a Bluetooth speaker, and I have it set right in the middle. It actually sounds better right there. It sounds really good in that position, plus it looks cool because it goes with my magic thing. So yeah, so that's awesome. Now, Cabaret Voltaire was one of my favorite bands growing up. I remember that ever since I was little, and that's kind of like one of me and my dad's things, you know, that we share, that we have always bonded over music. Like there's not many people who like this music, so my dad appreciates that about me, that I've always liked that kind of music, and it's not like I have no choice, because you know my sister grew up in the same household, and she's more into like mainstream culture. She likes pop music and rap music and stuff like that, and she always thought my dad listens to a lot of weird music. I mean, she likes some of it, especially if it's more socially acceptable. Some of it's okay, but like, so I once thought when I found out more about Reese Fulber, Bill's co-writer, I feel like he's closer to my age, and his dad's close to my dad's age, and he grew up listening to cool music with his dad. But his dad also had like a music studio all the time, so Reese knew how to, was learning music, the production end of it. So I always felt like, man, I sure wish I had a brother like Reese, you know, somebody that's into this music so much that he wants to make it, you know. Like even chose to join the band that I would join if I had an option at some point, you know. So stuff like that. See, I wasn't planning this conversation. I was just planning on cracking that present open and see what's in there. But I really appreciate that because I feel like that's always been an important part of my relationship with my father, is that we like this kind of music. And it's not just a music community, it's an artist and a philosophical community that I believe stems from the more like the Beat Generation side of the overall psychedelic counterculture, you know. So there's been a cultural revolution that stems from people who've been eating psychedelic substances, and it causes a mind expanding experience that makes you go, oh wait a minute, they're lying to us. They're lying to us about a lot of things. And that can really cause you to have a mental breakdown when you realize that a lot of the things that you thought were true or okay are not okay and not true. So I feel like there's been like these colorful phases of this unfoldment, you know, where I feel like it's kind of has a left brain side and a right brain side to it. Like that's where I feel like the Beat Generation tend to be more onto the intellectual and philosophical and more of an artist community, where the hippies are more like the spiritual side, you know. And so that's what I was saying earlier on. I feel like the hippies listen to a lot more happy, friendly music. And so I was thinking that, you know, I was listening to some music at work and how like I can get away with playing a lot of hippie music on here, but if I bring the music in that I listen to on my own time, I think the owner would be upset and some of the customers might not like it. And in fact, I kind of push the envelope when I come in and I put on like Wire or Gang of Four. Like I was listening to Gang of Four, and then on Spotify it gives you like their radio, like Gang of Four radio, like what they, I guess the band chooses to put on their playlist. And so most of it was kind of, you know, I spent a lot of time in there alone, but man, this older woman was in there looking over the ice cream right then and there. Warm Leatherette by The Normal came on. Now she didn't say anything, but I was running as fast as I could to hit that stop button, right? So I listen to a lot of deep dark music that can't be played in public, you know. That's the funny thing. So anyways, that's kind of added a bit of a challenge to my overall life, just because, you know, it's like I would say most of my friends don't really know about this music or care about it, but it makes me a little bit lonely finding people that are really deeply into it. And that's where, you know, I went to Denver to find my community, and it seemed like things have been, you know, dying down, and there's more like a fashion oriented culture there instead. And so I'm just kind of wondering what I'm doing with my life right now. And so that's where sometimes being alone is good, you know, like there's a lot of people saying, you know, sometimes God will separate you from the masses for a good reason. And so I wanted to share what our day looks like here in Montana. It's kind of odd. Out my window, look at that sun shining out there. Let's open the door. So yeah, this is not normal. This is not normal Montana weather. Look at that, there's like only a little bit of snow where I like shoveled it into a pile. Like I came out here and shoveled a couple of times. Quite odd. It's quite odd indeed. Now, I'm gonna share about my circumstances a little bit today. Kind of what is going on. Again, I'm kind of in stasis. I'm just waiting to get organized, and I don't think I want to stay in this house for a few reasons. Like I like it for one thing because it's size. It's just big enough. Now, I haven't been up here in a long time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna climb up here, and I'm gonna show you where I was living. Okay, so when Rosie and Gary was alive, I couldn't wait to get out of this house because this is what I had. This is where I was allowed to live. So me and all my stuff was here. Okay, so see, I had everything I owned up here and my bedding, and there's just a little bit of stuff up here. It's probably mostly like what was Rosie and Gary stuff. So I put everything that I was storing up here into storage. That's where I was the other day. I went out there to get a few odds and ends, so I'm trying to keep everything minimal. And so I was thinking I could build my studio up there and do everything up there, but here's the thing. I would have to run a cord down. I'd have to run cords down here like this and plug it into that wall. So that wouldn't have worked out really good. There's really no outlets up there. And another thing is, it's like if I have the toaster oven and I have the microwave running at the same time, it makes the breaker box shut down. So Rosie was telling me she really doesn't want me, you know, starting a music project here. You know, imagine, you know, all the electricity that techno music takes will probably keep shutting the breaker down, right? Keep shutting down our electricity. And I said, no, Rosie, it's not like that. I'm just gonna plug my computer in, you know, like, and I'll be playing some high voltage electronic execution, and it'll shut down like this whole section of the neighborhood, you know. So that's why it's not a good idea. So, you know, the other thing is so this is kind of a cool place to chill out. Like I could probably sit here and write music and stuff. Like if I stay here, you know, this is a great place to work and live. But the internet signal sucks for one thing because we're right by the high school, and the other thing is like I like to bounce. That's part of my training. I don't know if you can see. It's probably making the camera shake. But it's not a good place to bounce. Like if I'm gonna do martial arts, I'd have to do it outside or in the garage, which is okay-ish. So it would kind of work out maybe. But I'm looking for a better alternative where, like, I don't really want to be next to the high school, and I want, you know, better internet service. So what I need is really good internet service, someplace with a good floor where I can set up my camera and my video screen, because what I want to do is continue my martial arts training by partly sharing out on the internet and training to what I find on the internet. And so if I have a good place set up to train and a few good friends that think like I do, we could continue our martial arts training whether in a gym or not and stuff like that. So I have some optimistic ideas, like what if I could stay here, but I feel really strongly that I'm moving on. And the reason I don't want to settle down and set up my internet quite yet is because I'm still waiting to see, you know, how the landlord's going to react once I come to talk to him about what we're going to do next. And so even if I can stay here, I'm still kind of hoping for better options than this, you know, like, so like, I thought about, why don't I just hook up the internet anyways? Why don't I just do all this stuff anyways? Here's the thing is I bought this laptop in 2019, so that's like 5 years ago. And then I got the Ableton trial thing. And I thought all I got to do is get Ableton and watch some tutorials, and I'll teach myself how to use Ableton. Well, first of all, I couldn't find any tutorials that were helpful, and when I got into the Ableton thing, I couldn't figure out how to make it go. So I haven't used my laptop very much, so I feel like I do kind of need to go someplace where I can talk to somebody in person or get more help. You know, like I need a lot more help than this, because I mean I have music flowing through me all the time. And so what I want to do in the long run is be able to set up so that, like, I don't know if you ever heard of Mark Rubier, like he's a comedian and stuff, but I love what he's doing because it's similar to how I think. Sometimes I just think of funny stuff and I don't want to play it and sing it right then and there. Like I could do stuff like that too, but except only I'm funnier than him. And sometimes his music's good, but his overall taste in music I don't care for. But I think I also want to do something more serious with that. Like I think once I get plugged in, it'd be actually ideal to have live conversations with people where we, you know, make up songs on the spot, and you know, it could be very fun and entertaining and educational for other people who are trying to learn how to make music. So I really want to help other artists find their groove, because I think a lot of us are lost in the arts. You know, we're getting too caught up on form and appearance, and we're kind of losing sight of our purpose as artists. You know, so I want to get back to what fundamental to us as artists, what we were doing it for. And that's why I'm inspired by industrial music so much, is because I feel like their concept, it's like, it's really about the here and now. What they were doing was reflecting what they're experiencing in life. So it's very, you know, it was a very contemporary art. So, you know, what was it, like almost 50 years ago, they were making contemporary art. Now it's an artifact. Anything they've made long a time ago has become now an artifact for us. So like if you want to be like them, then the secret ingredient is being contemporary, just being intuitive, just, you know, make your art a reflection of the here and now. So that's the kind of artist you are. I mean, of course, that's not the only way to do it, but this type of art is all about the here and now. And so it's become a little bit less relevant now than it was then, because it was there here and now. And so now you listen to it, and it's more, for me, to listen to industrial music is out of nostalgia. I like to re-tap into that time. So, and that works too. So we want to tap into that unfoldment that industrial music was giving us, because I feel like, different groups, like we're part of a mini collective. If you're part of this music community, where we're going through some sort of a phase. I feel like the industrial music was help wake up the soul. It's soul music. We're trying to wake up the soul. But then as it went on, I felt like people were getting more into like prettier, more musical sounding stuff that, it seems to take flight, So a lot of artists have taken flight, like Cabaret Voltaire went from being just a noise band to being something that took flight. And so that's kind of a similar thing we're doing in Shaolin. Like when I got into Qigong, we talked about the dead training versus the live training. So the dead training is heavy and jarring, so you need that heavy jarring music or those heavy jarring movements to wake up the energy. Okay, you're asleep at the wheel, we need to wake you up, right? But then you get going and you break the ground resistance and you're taking flight. Now we're suspended on air. This is where we need to keep it going. So it's kind of a great way to approach your life in general. This might be how I'm approaching my martial arts training. Get to where I can take flight and keep it going. And then as an artist, maybe I will take flight and try to keep it going. And just whatever you're doing in life, it's a great concept. And so that's where I feel like instead of just going like, oh, let's make more music like that, it's more like the continuation. So I love the idea of continuing some sort of a format of music and bringing together people, and this way the spirit behind the music is a liberating one. So we want to be liberated. I think we're about consciousness expansion and things like this, but the problem is we can get too much in our head and not enough in our heart. That's where we can go into deeper and darker places. See, now people that avoid going into the deep and dark places are also avoiding the discipline of coming face to face. If you're just like tra la 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 all the time, then you're also going through life like this. So it's probably better than having an emotional breakdown by going over here to the dark side, or not to become dark, but to come face to face in the dark. See, something that Falun Gong talks about. There's some sort of a Chinese religion. It's sort of kind of a weird little religion called Falun Gong, and they say that each of us has to walk the dark night. It's part of our soul building experience. And I feel like that's what makes industrial music and everything like it a little bit different than what most people can handle, is because we're coming face to face. So I think Cabaret Voltaire, a lot of that early stuff is like, it makes me feel like we're in a scary place, like we're in the basement and the light's about to shut off and you hear noises. And so it seems like some of the early industrial music seems to be about being in that scary place, going through those experiences. I was looking at all my Frontline Assembly albums, and a lot of it looks like somebody that's experiencing, a terrible thing, like somebody's like, ah! Or somebody's just like, ah! Just somebody, having a terrible experience. So you don't want to have that terrible experience, but for some reason we get dragged through it. And so, and that's why, I think some of us love horror movies and things like this, is it's about, getting over the things that scare us. It's like I was talking about Halloween. Part of Halloween is we're going into the dark night of the year. Winter is kind of like the nighttime of the year, because we get a lot less sunshine, and it puts us in a place where, really bad things could happen at night or during the dark time of the year. So that's why this is actually the most horrible time of the year. That's why we need so many parties to make the difference. Ah! So that's where, my discussion today is that I'm celebrating Christmas alone. Now, Christmas can be a very powerful time of the year, but it can be a very emotionally challenging time of the year for a lot of people. This is the time of year a lot of people have family drama and mental health, and I hate to include this, but yeah, this is the time of year a lot of people end their lives because they just feel like they haven't been able to, make it happen. They don't have the love in their life they wanted. They don't have the material wealth they wanted, or whatever. Like this can be a very challenging time of year. So I think it comes back to me, making sure I have that discipline. Like no matter how lonely it gets, no matter how, I'm really lucky. It hasn't been snowing and getting really bad outside. I feel like the weather's been giving me a break, the job's been giving me a break, but I'm still alone here, and I'm still waiting to find out if everything's going to work for me. So I'm just a Jode, a lonely Jode. on Christmas. Anyways, hopefully next year it'll be a much more fun Christmas. Even though like I'm stuck here alone, self-discipline is I'm gonna find something fun to do today, and I just might share that with you. So Merry Christmas. I'll talk to you soon.